but I got y'all. I got y'all today, man. First topic. We gotta talk about Bronny James, man. Bronny James made history yesterday. Him and LeBron James getting drafted to the Lakers, right in the late in the second round, and they will become the first father and son duo, or parent child, I should say, duo to play on the same professional team, right? So this is some breaking news. This is history in the making. We got to react to it, fellas. You know, 3 black men on the show. This is history right here. So I'm going to kick it off with you, Dave. Dave, what was your big reaction? Or what do you think of this moment right here of Bronny James and LeBron James?
All right, so I have two separate reactions to this. Let me speak to the black man perspective when it comes to this. When it comes to being a family man and having connections in your work. So we can't we can't we can't down LeBron James for being able to be who he is to allow his son to be able to play with him. We got to look at it this way. Giannis has his brother on his team. How good is the nasty, as they like to call him? Does he really belong on the NBA team? Let's be honest. No. And look at his other brother, who's an NBA champion, who was on that Lakers team that won the title in the bubble. Where is he now?
Bruh.
Is he getting minutes? No. But they're in the league because their brother is also in the league, who was an NBA champion and who was a two-time MVP. So those are connections. And this happens all the time in sports. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. If you look at the ownership and the management, who's in that league? It's all the Joneses. You got Stephen Jones, his daughter, every single one in that family is there. That is exactly what it is when it comes to that aspect, because we can't be upset at him for being able to have this happen for his family, for his son. Bronny could very well be one of the best players out of this draft. We don't know. And that's where I have this. That's where I go to the other aspect of this, and that is the basketball version of this. The same reason why I say that the nasty, I can't even pronounce his actual names. That's why I keep saying the nasty.
The
So
GOAT.
why those two brothers don't belong on the NBA court because they're not that good. But remember, they were drafted in that draft. They were drafted in the like 50 to 60. They were drafted. They weren't that good in basketball, but they got drafted. And the same way I felt about them is the same way I felt about Bronny. I feel like Bronny should have stayed in college for another season or did whatever he could to develop his game or even show his game even more, because it would have this the attention that's going to happen now is going to go two ways. It's going to be good for LeBron and Bronny because it's like, hey, you got father and son duo. First time this ever happened in NBA history. It's a great thing. But the other thing is, does he really deserve these minutes? Did he really deserve to get drafted? He only got drafted because LeBron James is his father. You're going to hear that a lot because if you look at what he did in college, he only averaged about 4-5 points per game. He did not get a real. He didn't really play, and he didn't play. He didn't play well on a bad team. USC was not really that good of a team last year. If you pay attention to college basketball, and also it's another thing is because he had a life-threatening situation that happened. So let's be glad that he's still alive because he easily could have lost his life. He had a near life-ending situation that happened with him where he collapsed on the court. So the fact that he's even able to walk and breathe and be able to play this game of basketball is great. But when it comes to being a basketball perspective, as of what he did in college to say that he deserved to be here, he doesn't. When it comes to basketball, there's nothing he did in college to say that he deserved to be drafted. But his father's LeBron James. His father plays for the Lakers. It's going to happen. So that's not down him for having the opportunity because his father's there. Let's down him for only his basketball reasons. That's not down him because his father is LeBron James. Down if we're gonna criticize him for just his basketball ability, and that's it. And that's not to say that LeBron can't be good, because he very well could be. He has the makers. He can make shots. He could defend. But I think there's some development that needs to get there. That's why I believe he should have stayed in college for another year.
Mark?
Well, I like it. I know everybody that worked with Bronny or everybody that worked out with Bronny, including like players like Gilbert Arenas, they got a good eye for talent and everything like that. I mean, they was all talking. They was hype about Bronny. They saying Bronny does deserve to actually play in the NBA. I know Gilbert said by himself, he was working out with Bronny, his son, and another college player. I can't think of his name, but they said Bronny was just practicing regular, and then they said something to tick Bronny off, and then he hit another gear, and Gilbert was just like, "Oh yeah, you got it." Like and I trust Gilbert word because everything you talk about with sports players anyway, when he talk about him, he be right a lot. So I do trust his opinion when it comes to that. Even not even just that. When you looked at the workout on film, I said on film. When you looked at the workout in the NBA draft pre-workout, so he hit everything he was shooting. He had a really good workout. So it's just like, yeah, Bronny played the role that he was supposed to play because Bronny probably could have went to any school and just been the number one player there. He probably could have went to any other school and been the guy to show off his skill set. But he wanted to learn from them, learn from the coaching staff, learn from that, and he learned. So I do think he deserve to be drafted in the second. Yes, the second round. It's not a first round pick. If he was the first round pick, I would have thought, okay, maybe it's his dad. It was the second round. I don't see why it wouldn't be a good fit for them to draft the first father-son to play at the same time ever, especially when it's LeBron. You got the greatest player ever, so. That's
I was just about to play that. I swear I was.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. So, my reaction, like I said yesterday on the show, history, kudos to LeBron James. He used his clout to get his son in, he used his clout to get JJ in. We don't get mad when people get that work out Wendy's, get they son in there. You know what I mean? Work out Microsoft, get they son in there. So he basically used his leverage to get his son on the team. So yes, history, congratulations, kudos to LeBron James and his family, or the James family. I do want to say this though. This right now is a honeymoon stage at this moment. Right now, we excited for them. We're like, y'all great black dad or great dad. It's not labeling just black. He's a dad, right? Don't put him in a box, but he's a great dad, period. And, son was coachable to his father and did everything he told him to do and got the job done. Now, when this honeymoon stage is over of the celebration, now Bronny is going to eventually have to prove himself in the NBA. Because y'all ever been given something and you feel like you didn't earn it? You didn't feel honest. You didn't feel good about it. So if Bronny gets to this league and when LeBron is gone, he's gone, that's not going to be a good look. Then we know for sure that he only got there because his dad got the clout. He didn't earn his way there. His dad kind of earned his way there. So I do want to say that there's going to be some pressure on Bronny James to live up to the hype of him just being in the NBA. I recommend that the Lakers send him to the G League, let him develop, let him get a lot of playing time. Because when you playing in the G League, you getting a lot of burn basically. Still getting coached by NBA coaches and stuff like that. And then he could come in like if an injury happened, he could come in and play stuff like that. But they shouldn't bring him because he's not on a 2-way contract. He's on a full-blown contract, right? So I hope they let him play in summer league. Coach gonna play summer league, the G League, and all that stuff before throwing them with the real NBA guys. So there's a lot of pressure that's going to be on Bronny James going forward.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of pressure. But that's kind of sort of. I didn't think about the G League aspect, but yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And maybe Mark is right. Maybe it's a lot better for him to actually learn in the NBA than to learn in college.
Oh so, yeah, I'm always good with that. Yeah.
So that's perfectly fine. I'm just talking about just him being drafted. That's the goal. So I'm not saying that he didn't earn to even be on an NBA roster, possibly go undrafted, someone give him a 2-way contract, then yeah, that's perfectly fine. But it's just the fact that he got drafted over other players that may have deserved even more. So
I agree with that.
And that's the same thing I felt, and I said that's the same thing I felt about the Giannis brothers, the Antetokounmpo brothers. They didn't deserve to be drafted either. But
see, I got to agree with you with that though. they all got drafted by different teams. And
Yeah,
Giannis
they did.
and Giannis, these teams in that draft don't thinking they're gonna get Giannis. And Giannis, if I'm not mistaken, okay, I got backtrack. I'm not gonna throw that out there. But they got drafted by different teams. They getting drafted by, so I feel like they kind of earned their way into it. You know what I mean? That's I will say that. Now this last dude with the nasty, what are you talking about now? And this dude was definitely on the roster because of his brother. He definitely on the roster because of his brother.
Because he wouldn't be on anyone else's roster. I'm telling you, that boy cannot. He's not that good.
He got some good highlights with 10.4 seconds left in the game. When the scores, when they down by 30, he got some good highlights.
Exactly.
He be going crazy.
He got some pretty bad ones too.
Yeah, he wild. All right, y'all. So look, man,